And so it's Atlanta with it. They've led by as many as 11 points. This, of course, their first chance to play Miami this season.
And while they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, one is a playoff team. The other, question mark, ... not so much. But things change, and you're only as good as your last win, so we'll see how they handle things tonight.
Klay Thompson is out there with Michael Jordan. Then it's Curry. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Irving at the 5. That's the group on the floor for Miami. Now T. After the missed 3 from Stephen Curry. T kicks to Splitter. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
And Holiday kicks to Scott. From outside, off the mark.
Kyrie Irving made his first playoff appearance last season with the Cavs, and individually got a big $90 million max extension as well. He's in a really good spot in his career at this point.
Now, here is Irving. Jeff Teague unable to get his shot to go. And Curry, here we go. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark.
And he's clearly just disappeared here this quarter, not making any contributions here with his offense.
And, Greg, it's been hard to watch. I mean, you can see his frustration. He's actually looking forward to the end of this period so he can have a fresh start for the next one.
Now, here is Holiday after the miss from Stephen Curry. 4 on the clock. Splitter. And it's... Sent back by Aldridge. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Irving. Kevin Durant's checked in for the Heat. Westbrook comes in for Curry. And the one thing Tiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles. He knows where he's supposed to be. He gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
Atlanta again missing.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
A great assist. Nice work from Russell Westbrook.
The Hawks leading by 3. T kicks to Scott. There's the screen. Outside Hardaway. Back to Scott. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on Michael Jordan.
And for Tiago Splitter, he's been a relatively unsung player in his career, never getting his number called on offense, receiving little recognition from the media, but providing tough defense in the post. He shot over 55%, crashes the boards in the 20 minutes or so a game that he gets. So that's been good enough to really establish a productive career.
Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Justin Holiday. Now here's Jordan. Right side Westbrook makes it off the glass.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Good. You know, getting back to Splitter, yes, you need superstars to win in this league, but you also need guys like him, guys who put the team first, who will bust the gut to carry out their responsibilities on the floor, off the court, and in the locker room. You need all of that to be a championship team.
Here's T, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Outside Hardaway. Back to Scott from past the arc. Scott missing again. And here is Irving. He's coming off a 10-point game against Houston. it off in time. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
And that's a big bonus for him to end the quarter as he just beats the buzzer.
That's superb clock.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's Atlanta. They lead by a bucket. And time now to go court.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Half. After 2 quarters, it's Atlanta out in front. They've got a 2-point lead. Let's start with you. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
Yeah, you just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
And on the floor for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Teague out there with Kent Bazemore, and it's Sefolosha in at the 3 slot. Shot from the low block. They grab their own miss, and he gets it to go. Horford's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Hawks. The Heat trail by 4. Outside Westbrook. Durant in the corner. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
And despite getting Hassan Whiteside as a rebounding force last year, the Heat really struggled on the boards. The rest of the team just didn't pull their weight in terms of defending the glass.
Outside Teague. Sefolosha passes to Horford. Just 5 on the clock. From downtown, Teague can't hit. And the Heat did struggle with rebounding at times last year. Greg, you're right, bottom 10 in a lot of the rebounding categories last season. Clark, you got an appreciation for that, and they didn't have it.
Yeah, and you know what? They were pretty good when they did hit the glass, though. 20 and 10 when they out-rebounded their opponents.
Millsap a screen on Irving. Teague dishes to Millsap. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. 10 points for Millsap.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Westbrook kicks to Durant. He dishes it to Jordan. And it takes that one up and powers it through.
My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
I tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it look a little too easy.
Teague drives in. He feeds it to Millsap. And it's going to be 2. Free throws, drew contact on the shot. And he isn't the biggest body at 6'8", Clark, but Paul Millsap, very effective.
And part of his being underrated and underestimated, I think, is due to that size. But folks are finally starting to come around. That kind of production he's put up will make that happen.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Davis is checked in for Aldridge. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Kevin Durant. Shaw subbed in for Irving. Shaw passes to Jordan. And Leonard has it in the corner. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And Millsap with over a 7-foot wingspan and also just a great nose for the ball. He gets you rebounds, blocks, and he leads all power forwards in steals pretty much every season.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for the Hawks.
And speaking of Millsap's defense, I mean, he can switch out and cover perimeter players as well. His smaller stature gives him that versatility, but then the long wingspan allows him to still bang with the biggies.
For the lead, Shaw, no good.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Schroeder with the ball. 8 points for him. And there's the pass to Horford. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Horford's got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
And the basket by Shaw.
And finally, they fought themselves back to even the score. We've got a new ball game here now.
And really, all the momentum is theirs, making such a strong comeback. So I think you've got to really feel good about their chances the rest of the way.
After a rookie season in which he really struggled, Dennis Schroeder made big strides last year.
Yeah, I think pretty much dramatic improvements across the board, Kevin. Really a most improved candidate for sure. He solidified that reserve unit for the Hawks, in my opinion.
Atlanta making a switch here. Holiday's checked in, and that one's good. Schroeder. The Heat trail by 4. It's stolen by Schroeder. Here's Bazemore. 10 points for him. To the middle. Here's Horford. That is good. Horford's got 8 points.
And Schroeder still with room to grow. I mean, he needs to improve his three-point shot and cut down his turnovers. But those are things that often come with time. And he's got time, still very young at this stage of his career.
And for Schroeder, not a great outside shooter yet, but he's an attack guard. I mean, blinding speed, very slippery, eel-like. He gets into that lane and can make a defense collapse in a heartbeat. That alone is where his value is right now.
Picked by Horford. Schroeder kicks to Horford. And again, it's Atlanta.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
Here is Shaw. He's guarded by Schroeder. And the foul on Kent Bazemore.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Atlanta making a switch here. Splitters checked in. Here is Shaw. 12 points for him. Shot clock at 6. And it's sent back by Horford. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And for Atlanta, they come in off a good outing against Charlotte.
And they ran their offense nearly to perfection in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
Yeah, they put the mute button on them that time. I mean, in front of a hostile crowd, they never let the fans get going. They silenced them over and over again with big, timely shots.
To the inside. Here's Shaw. There's the bucket. Shaw's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
And Holiday kicks to Splitter. Hawks passing it around. In the corner, Horford with it. He wants to get to Millsap and does. Count the bucket. Millsap's got 13.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
Here's Shaw. Power down with both hands.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunks the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Yeah, that could be an instant momentum shift. That certainly was a rim wrecker.
They get it back. And Davis sends it back. And now running up the court, Leonard pushing it up. And that one's good. Now just a 4-point Hawks lead.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter. Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat. But he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's Miami with the rebound. Davis has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Jordan with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. The jump hook. It's hauled in by the Heat. Greg, as you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Clark kind of molded him in his image.
Yeah, and it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to him.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Atlanta making some changes. Scotty's checked in for Horford. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Paul Millsap. And it's Teague in for Justin Holiday. Outside Hardaway. To the paint. Drops in the layup for 2. Scott's got 11 points.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness.